I organized a massive surprise party for my fiancée, only to catch her with my cousin in our bedroom. I stepped back out, took the mic, and announced that we had a second surprise. Then, I shone a spotlight on the bedroom door and congratulated them in front of all our friends and family. My life, as I knew it, ended about 3 hours ago. Now, I'm sitting in my living room, which is still decorated with party streamers and half-eaten food. It looks like a disaster zone, which feels fitting. I just detonated my own life, and I'd do it all over again without hesitation. Tonight, I threw a large surprise 30th birthday celebration for my fiancée, Maya. I'm talking about the works. I spent 2 months planning this in secret, flying in her best friend, hiring her favorite caterer, and more. I wanted it to be flawless. Our friends and family filled our home, eagerly waiting to celebrate the woman I adored, the woman I thought I knew. My cousin Ben helped me with the arrangements. He's my mother's sister's son and has always been the charming troublemaker of the family, drifting from job to job with constant drama. I've always been there to help him out. Last year, he needed a dependable car, but his credit was terrible, so I co-signed a loan for him. Naturally, he defaulted 6 months later, and I had to pay it off to protect my credit. When I was upset, Maya defended him, saying, "He's family, Liam. You have to assist him. It's not like you can't manage it." I should have recognized the signs then. The surprise was a hit. Maya entered, everyone cheered, and she burst into tears of joy. She embraced me, saying she was the luckiest woman alive. For an hour, I felt like the happiest man on earth. I mingled, laughed, and watched her enjoy the spotlight. Then I remembered her main gift. I had commissioned a unique necklace from a local artist, hidden in my sock drawer away from the hustle. I excused myself from a chat with her dad and headed down the hall. The music was loud, making the hallway feel like a quiet tunnel. As I approached our bedroom, I noticed the door slightly ajar. I heard whispers and a soft giggle, thinking it was just a couple of her friends gossiping. Annoying, but whatever. I pushed the door open, ready to say something like, "Hey, the party's out here," and then everything froze. It was them, Maya and Ben, on my bed. I don't need to elaborate. They were so engrossed in what they were doing that they didn't notice me. I was frozen, unable to breathe or move. All I could hear was a buzzing sound in my ears. For a moment, I saw red. I wanted to break everything, to drag Ben out of my house by his hair. But then a strange calm washed over me, a clarity that comes when you have nothing left to lose. I realized that if I confronted them privately, they'd lie and twist the narrative. I backed out of the doorway, quietly closed the door, and returned to the party. My face felt emotionless. I spotted the DJ and the portable spotlight my photographer friend had set up. An idea formed in my mind, both terrible and brilliant. So, there I was in the middle of a party celebrating my fiancée, while knowing she was in my bedroom with my cousin, preparing to give her the surprise of her life. Update 1, it's over now. The house is silent. My phone has been buzzing for an hour, but I'm indifferent. I approached the DJ and requested to speak. He handed me the mic, and I climbed onto the little stage we had set up for toasts. I waited for everyone to notice me, and when they did, they fell silent, ready for the heartfelt speech from the fiancé. I saw Maya's parents smiling at me, and that part was tough. I tapped the mic. "Hey everyone, thank you for being here. It means so much to see you all for Maya's big 30. I smiled, feeling like my face might crack. I think everyone knows I love surprises, but it seems I'm not the only one. A few people chuckled, oblivious to what was about to unfold. "It turns out," I continued, my voice rising, "we have a second surprise for everyone tonight." That got a cheer, and people looked around excitedly. I nodded to my photographer friend, who swung the spotlight onto our closed bedroom door. The room followed the light, and the cheering faded into murmurs of confusion. They probably expected me to reveal a puppy or something. "Yeah," I said into the silence. "It seems my wonderful fiancée Maya and my own cousin Ben have been planning a little surprise of their own. They're in the bedroom right now, putting the finishing touches on it. Let's give them a big round of applause for their little surprise." You could hear a pin drop. I felt like I had sucked all the air out of the room. I saw 50 shocked expressions. My father's face turned to stone as the bedroom door opened. Maya and Ben stepped out, squinting into the spotlight, looking annoyed like, "What's all the commotion?" Then they saw everyone, my parents, her parents, all our friends, all staring at them. And then they spotted me on stage with the mic. I watched their faces as realization hit. It was the most satisfying yet horrifying sight. Panic washed over them in slow motion. Maya turned pale, and Ben looked like he might be sick. I put the mic back on the stand, walked down from the stage, and approached them. Maya began whispering urgently, "Liam, no please. It's not what you think." I locked eyes with her and spoke low enough for those nearby to hear. "It looks like you and my cousin were in our bedroom during your birthday party. Is that not what transpired?" She stammered, and Ben tried to intervene. "Dude, don't." I cut him off. "Get out of my house, both of you. Now." My best friend, Mark, stepped up, placing a hand on my shoulder. He addressed the crowd. "Okay, everyone. I think the party's over. Thanks for coming." People began grabbing their coats, avoiding eye contact. It felt like a somber procession. I walked to the kitchen and poured myself the largest glass of whiskey I could find. I've never needed a drink more in my life. Update 2. It's been a week, a long, strange week. The night of the party is still a blur of shocked faces and my friends and family cleaning up while I sat there, probably blocking a lot of it out. The aftermath has been as chaotic as expected. My phone was nearly useless for 3 days. Maya's messages were a masterclass in manipulation, starting with apologies and declarations of it being the biggest mistake of her life. When I didn't reply, she claimed she was drunk and it meant nothing. When that didn't work, it turned to accusations of me being distant, saying I practically drove her to him. Finally, it escalated to pure rage. "You're a monster for humiliating me. You enjoyed it." I just kept blocking the new numbers she used. Ben's dad, my uncle, called me, furious with Ben but also trying to manage the family fallout. He asked if I could have handled it more discreetly. I laughed. "Discreetly? The time for that was before your son took my fiancée into my bedroom during her own birthday party. This isn't my mess to clean up, Uncle Dave." He had little to say after that. The real drama began on Tuesday. While at work, I received a security alert from our home camera system. I checked the live feed and saw Maya. She had used the key to let herself in. I watched her walk around, picking things up. I left work immediately and found her in the living room, crying. She said she just wanted to talk. "I don't want to talk, Maya," I replied. "I want you to give me your key and leave." She refused, insisting it was her home too. I pulled out my phone and started dialing 911. Her eyes widened. "What are you doing?" I explained. "You're in my house without my permission. That's trespassing. You have 5 seconds to leave before I report a break-in." She practically threw the key at me and stormed out. The locks were changed an hour later. That night, I packed up her belongings, going through every room, every drawer, every closet. I filled 6 boxes with her clothes, books, and picture frames. I stacked them on the front porch, took a photo, and sent it to her dad with a message saying, "Her things are on the porch. They need to be gone by tomorrow or they'll be donated." He came the next morning, a big, quiet man looking tired and sad. He wouldn't meet my gaze, just loaded the boxes into his truck. Maya sat in the passenger seat, staring blankly ahead. After he loaded the last box, he gave me one sad look and shook his head before driving her out of my life for good. Final update. It's been 6 months now. The dust has settled, and my life looks entirely different. The story of the party did its job. There was no gossip because everyone knew the truth. They witnessed it firsthand. There was no way for Maya or Ben to twist the narrative. They were caught red-handed in the spotlight. From what I've heard, their lives are pretty miserable. They are technically together, I suppose, due to having no one else left. They live in a small apartment her parents are funding. Apparently, she attempted to start a GoFundMe for her emotional distress, but it received so much backlash from those who attended the party that she had to take it down. The best part? Ben tried to apply for a job at a company where one of my good friends works. My friend, who was there that night, saw his resume and personally delivered it to the trash can. Family dynamics are still a mess. My parents and their relatives have completely cut ties with Ben and his family, creating a significant rift. I feel sorry for my grandparents, but this was a choice Ben made. As for me, the first couple of months were tough, I won't lie. It's a different kind of pain, but I sold the house. I couldn't bear to stay there any longer. I have a new place now, smaller but entirely mine. I've been focusing on work, reconnecting with true friends, and doing a lot of hiking. Last weekend, I tackled a difficult trail that Maya always refused to try. When I reached the top and looked out over everything, I realized I hadn't thought about her all day. That's when I knew I'd be okay. Looking back, exposing them like that was the best decision I could have made for myself. It was a clean break, a public end to our relationship. It prevented months or years of them trying to creep back into my life. It turned their secret into their identity. They can't escape it. It was harsh, but it was the truth. And now my life is finally honest and peaceful, so incredibly peaceful.